Processing.
I'm sorry. Try again.
Hey, hi everybody. Hi Melanie. Hi Sydney. Oh, you're muted, Sydney. Let's unmute yourself. Whoops. All
There we
right.
go.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, boy, what a show we have today for real. Um, now there's something missing here, and I think Melanie may have some good news to tell everybody.
I have some phenomenal news. Snoopy just got to his forever home yesterday. He is now living in Pennsylvania.
What,
Yay.
Pennsylvania? He went right past me.
He went right past you. Yeah, he went a long way. And I already got
Wow.
pictures. He looks like he's making himself right at home.
Wow. If I'd have known that last night when I commented under his post, I would have said something like, "I'm going to come meet Snoopy in person this time." Wow. Anyway, that's great. We had an adoption. That's awesome. We've had, with that GPRS has had more than just one adoption, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, I actually have a happy adoption story from one of the dogs that was dressed up for Halloween and went trick
oh,
or treating. Yes. So
awesome.
the two Pippa and Dottie, the two speckled
Hmm.
puppies.
Yep.
Pippa just got adopted. She's actually moving to Oregon and will live about an hour and a half away from me.
Awesome. This is
Yeah.
so cool. And Melanie actually has a little more possible good news, but not
Awesome.
quite. Not quite
Yeah.
yet, maybe.
Well, wait. I will just say, come next week, hopefully there'll be a bit of surprise on the show.
Yeah. There we go. So, but we sure have a good show coming today, and man, I didn't realize we have one of the reindeer on the show though. But we'll bring him up shortly. But we're gonna, yeah, that was. We have a good show coming up, even for me. Uh,
We do.
yeah. So always remember that that everybody that supports this show, they're all rescues, and always remember rescuing a dog has priority over coming on any show. Okay, and so anytime somebody can't make it, that could easily be what's going on. So they take precedence. So anyway, um, we're going to bring up a pair that I could have, you would be, well, I think they could have been siblings, although they're not, as far as we know. We don't have a video for them. We just didn't have time this week. It's been a crazy week for everybody. And so we're going to bring up Patch and Melody and Sherry. Hi, Sherry.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am good. Thank you for having us.
Oh, sure. I can't wait to, well, hopefully get to see Mr. Patch, but hey, not the end of the world.
Hopefully,
And,
I'll
and,
try to get him. I called him. We'll see.
Well,
and,
wait a
sh-
minute. Now, hang on a
and
second. You called him, and he's a Great Pyrenees. So we might catch Patch next week when he decides
Maybe
to
if
come.
you're lucky. Yeah. You'll catch all the other dogs in the house in a minute, but
yeah.
All right.
And
Well, that's
and
fine.
just to share, Sherry has Melody and Patch in Texas right now. But they can be transported anywhere.
Including to Pennsylvania.
yes.
Yes.
I've sat to I had Izzy and Ivory, and I think they went to Oregon.
Yep.
That's my one Pyrenees that reminds me of Solace. He would just end up in my driveway, and he'd keep coming in my driveway. And he escaped from the farm. And finally, after the neighbor guy was tired of picking him up, he finally said, I called the rescue. You can either send him to the rescue or keep him. And he's been here ever since. And he's 9 now.
Wow.
Wow.
And he's
Wow.
120 pounds and probably one of the best.
And he's one of yours.
Yes, yeah. And he's a snore, definitely.
So he's not adoptable because
No.
if somebody wants that dog, they got to go to the infamous findanother.dog.com. So
Yeah. But the nice thing about having him is they're great dogs. They really are great dogs.
okay. So what about let's talk about Melanie or
Melody?
Melody, sorry.
Melody is what they call a pocket peer, so she's a little smaller. She is funny. I have probably more pictures and videos of her than any foster dog I've had. She loves the water. She loves to play. She does not stop playing. They will wrestle at 9 o'clock at night. They will wrestle at 7 o'clock in the morning. She doesn't care.
And she gets along with all of your dogs?
She gets along with everyone. My 2 dogs are great. That's my male. My son has 3 dogs that come over. He does have a German Shepherd who is very, she's a bully, kind of a sweet bully, but doesn't faze Melody at all. She just looks at her like, okay, and moves on. Hasn't met a person she doesn't like, gets along with everybody. She's okay with cats. If cats are let her smell them, she'll smell them, and then sometimes she'll try to chase them.
Well, now, isn't it true though that if the cat runs, there's something to chase, but if the cat doesn't run, there's no chase?
Yeah, and there are times where she's tried to get us killed by my cat. So yes.
Okay, all right, yeah. I understand that. I've got one too. But with my Akbash, if the cat doesn't run, there's just nothing to chase, and he walks away.
Yeah, she just smells him and says, "Is it time to play?"
All right. How old is she?
I would say Melanie is probably a year. She's not much over a year. Still pretty young. Still kind of, I probably shouldn't say this because it's my Dieter people from taking her, but she's still chews. You got to be careful. She's very selective on what she chews, though.
Okay.
She has a lot of toys, and most of my toys have no stuffing in them. And most of my toys have no faces on them because the plastic toys, she's chewed them all off.
Okay. And that's nothing to do with the breed. That's just a puppy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And
she's went to a meet and greet at a dog park, and I'm not big on dog parks. She did super. She played the whole entire time, and the dog she was there to meet, she would stop every now and then and let him sniff her, and then she was gone. So
wow.
Yeah,
she sounds like she's growing into the perfect peer.
She is. She really is. Very friendly, very sweet. Loves to give puppy kisses. She doesn't understand what personal space is. Will get right up in your face and just want to love on you. She really is a sweet dog.
Well, you got to remember too that respect of personal space between dog and human, that's a learned thing by both, by humans and dogs. So. Now, who was that right there? We just caught a glimpse of.
This is Piper. This is my lab. They all want to go outside right now because they hear me.
So Sherry, does Melody have a potential adopter? Then is there going to be another meet and greet with that person?
I have not heard. This person's Pyrenees lost its mate, and so she had narrowed it down. She really wanted Patch. But Patch, I don't think was going to be the right fit. I thought Melody more so, being as playful as she is. I mean, she gets my 9-year-old up and running. But we met at a dog park, and to me, that's a little harder to determine how they get along. And she was doing another meet and greet with another rescue for another peer. So I have not heard back. We've been trying to follow up with them on what the status is. And then she had another one, but they decided to wait until after the holidays. So I don't know how that's going to pan out.
Okay. Or even if there'll still be the same dogs in rescue.
Correct.
Yeah.
But whoever gets Melanie, even with kids, is going to love her.
Okay. Cool. And I wanted to touch on that too, because it's very important. The right fit. All right. And rescues are very good at this, of sending the best, of you having the best chance of a good fit of anything. So that's always been impressive. And,
yeah, I had Brenda, and Brenda was a only dog person. So, I've been pretty selective. She went to a great home, an older lady who lost her dog. So, I try to make sure that wherever they're going, it's a great fit because you don't want them to be returned.
Right, right.
And so,
That's absolutely right. You got your best chance of keeping them in their homes,
yeah,
and you also got the best chance of the home being good for your dog too.
yeah. A healthy
Um,
environment is
yeah.
key.
So for everybody out there that thinks that you got to pry these dogs out of a rescue's cold dead hands, you're absolutely correct. They won't have it any other way because it's got to be a better, at least as good a home as the foster has. All right. So and so they have rules set in place for in general, and then there's a specific dog. Okay. So uh, they do great work.
Yeah.
So
Now,
so
Melody's never been anything.
what would Melody's perfect home look like?
Her perfect home would be someone with a pool, of course, or a lake that's not real deep.
Or maybe the Pacific Ocean in her backyard,
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
absolutely. She would be great with that. Maybe a younger couple, maybe with kids, especially with another dog. And it doesn't have to be a young dog. She would be great with a puppy. She would be great with an older dog. Like I said, my 9-year-old, who just as lazy as can be, I mean, he gets to the point where he taunts her, so she'll play with him and they chase. She just really is fantastic. My son has 3 dogs that are younger, and they just chase each other in circles for hours.
Boy, oh boy. Now,
So
Solace, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sherry, you told us a funny story about the pool before we actually went live. So can you tell us about
Yes.
the pool?
So, if you want to bring up the picture of her in the pool at the pool, and I kind of have 2 funny stories with Melody, but I have the tanning ledge, and so the Melody was running with my son's dogs. He's got 2 labs and a German Shepherd, and Patch was sitting next to the pool. And they were running in circles and running fast. And the next thing I know, I hear a splash and I look out. They had bumped Patch and knocked him in the pool and just kept running and running. She just crazy. And she can't just walk around the pool. She likes to walk through the pool to come in the house. So her feet are always wet.
Well, the closest point between A and B, right?
That is true.
Okay. So
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you got to swim through shark-infested waters or not; it's still closer.
Yeah, and she was playing with my son's friend brought his dog over, and they had opened some bags of dirt, and it rained the other day, and I looked out and she was laying in the middle of the dirt.
Of course, of
She-
course. I would expect nothing less.
Yeah.
Now,
but
this is an older picture, or is
yeah,
this
that's probably about when I first got her.
okay? She was cute as a button, huh?
Hmm.
She still is.
She still is.
That right there's of what I have. That's probably my favorite picture of her trying her best to give the side eye.
Yeah. Yes. She's laying here on the couch next to me.
Oh boy. So Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. If you want melody, that's where you apply. Now, Patch is next, right?
Yes. Now, when I got Patch, he was really skinny. You could see all of his bones. It was horrible. And I wish I would have known his situation. I call him Snaggletooth sometimes because he's got this one tooth that just kind of jets out the side of his mouth.
Oh, just like me.
But he really is sweet. He's just lays around. He'll get up on the couch. He has trust issues. It took him a while to trust me, and it's taken him quite a while to even walk into my husband's office and let my husband pet him. Just it will take him a while. I know he's been to a couple other foster homes just when he went to get fixed in that, and he loves female dogs, the older dogs. And the foster mom that took him, he wouldn't let her pet him all weekend, but he does great with the female dogs. He's
Awesome.
had an issue with, I have another son that has a male poodle, a big poodle, and those two I have to separate. They do not get along. That is the only dog I found that he does not get along with. He gets along with my son's dogs. My son's got a male. So it just has to be real selective on him. Definitely need a meet and greet.
Yeah, poodles are unique. And yeah, you have to separate me from poodles too.
But
Wow.
just yeah, he is really sweet, just real laid back. He's got his own little safe space, and I feed him in his safe space. Him and my male like to talk when they eat because they like to steal each other's food, and they don't like it when they steal each other's food. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
but he is definitely sweet. I wish I could get him to come down here. Putting weight on, he's gained 10 pounds last month. So
Wow.
he eats dry, and I feed him some special can. And that's pretty much what he does all day.
Well,
Just
except for that one patch, is he looking pure then? It looks
he is
like it.
all white. Yeah, that is it. Just
Wow.
that's why I called him Patch. He does like the water. He will get in the shallow end of the water. He doesn't splash as much like Melody does. He loves, now he will get up on my hot tub there and walk the edge and sit like he's the king.
He's so
actually,
cute.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
way that he tilts his head, and you can see that big black patch is just, she's just so cute.
Yeah.
Right. Sherry, hopefully maybe we can set it up where you can send us some more photos and video clips, and we can make some really cool videos for them, and if nothing else, at least get them into the countdown timer.
Absolutely. I will work on that. Like I said, I probably got a ton of video of Melody. Oh my gosh. Patch is a little more difficult because as you saw him laying there, that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, and
He
most
plays around.
and you can only take so many pictures of a dog sleeping, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they all sleep like peers with their legs up in the air.
Wow. I got a long-legged Akbash that does that, and he looks so silly. So I wake him up and make him turn over so he doesn't embarrass himself.
Even my 120-pound male sleeps like that. They do not dump their food like my male that I got from the farm. So it's funny when I was watching that. They're cleaner eaters
Yeah.
than he is.
Most farmers, and there's nothing wrong with this, because food bowls typically they're not feasible on a farm.
Yeah.
Okay. So they'll have something that they pour the food onto or into. And so that could be where the food dumping is coming from. A lot of times I recommend when it becomes a problem for somebody, I'll say, well, feed them on a flat plate and see if that does anything.
Yeah.
And we'll
He
do
still
that.
spills it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And one thing I did notice, I came home one day because I have a big water jug that tilts upside down, and it was like a lake in my house.
All right.
So
Remember what
you
I
just gotta
said?
Be careful. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, remember what I said earlier, that the dogs come before the show? That's exactly where the Utah rescue is right now. So she sent me a message to let me know, and I missed it. Is all because we were already live. Okay, I mean, so rescue has to come first, and even working with a foster, that has to come first. I get it.
So if I can adopt these two out, I can rescue more.
That's right. Because when you see, here's the thing, it's more than just one-on-one. All right. Because if you adopt, say, for example, Patch, well, that means now Sherry can take another dog probably from headquarters, which frees up a spot for the rest, so the headquarters can take another one out of the shelter. Now, it's a chain reaction, but if we got the right dogs, there could be two that they can save for one dog being two or more sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're helping save lives by adopting.
Yeah. And taking Patch, if somebody wanted to take Patch and Melody together, I definitely would let Patch go. But
Awesome.
Patch is, I think I'm more protective of Patch, maybe because of his trust issues and where he started from. I just want to make sure he goes to the right place. But if somebody took Patch and Melody, they are two peas in a pod and love each other.
How
Awesome.
big is Patch now, Sherry? And how big do you think? Because he looks
He's
in the
probably
morning-
about 80 to 90 pounds.
So he's not a giant boy either, but he's also underweight still, right?
Yes, he is still underweight. He's tall. He's just really skinny.
Okay. Wow. So what does his perfect home look like? Did I already ask
His
that?
perfect home, if he could be there, maybe with even an older couple who's looking for a companion, probably more of a less, I would say, busy household. If they had a puppy, he would do probably great with a puppy. Otherwise, I think he would do good with an older female dog, a couple years old, 3 years old, or he gets along. I think if the puppy were a male, he would be great. But it would depend on if it was an older male
Okay.
on how he does.
But he does better with the females.
Yes.
So he likes getting bossed around.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he doesn't necessarily play. He just kind of coexists with the other dogs that you have.
Yeah, he will run a little bit and play, but not like you would hope he would.
Okay.
If you throw him the toy, he kind of runs because he's afraid of it.
Oh,
So just getting, because again, his backstory, I think he was severely abused, not fed. I'm not sure because he was afraid of a lot of things. Does better with females. My son's girlfriend came over. He loved her, was all up in her, but still barks at my son every time he comes in the house.
oh, okay.
So maybe some type of male abuse. You try to figure out their stories as you
Right.
learn what they're like. Chew Bones, maybe he's like if you try to give him food or hand feed, you know how peers are and they act snobbish.
Mm-hmm.
He will do that, and then eventually he will take it or drop it.
Maybe your hand has been somewhere he didn't know about.
I don't know. My other male is just like that. If I go to give him a piece of cheese, it's like he's real uppity, like, oh, that's just cheese. And then eventually he'll take it. Patch is similar like that.
And then you got the peers that you could put toy stuffing in his bowl. All right.
That's Melody, yes.
All right. Well, that's a puppy. You know,
Oh, yes, yes.
I've never known a puppy not dissect a squeaky toy to get the squeaker out.
Come here, Mel.
Okay. I've got a bunch of that around here.
Over here. Say
And
hi.
then you can, oh boy,
Say hi, Mel. Say
look
hi.
at Melody.
Here, look. I know, huh?
So how many dogs do you have counting your resident dogs there? on
I have my
premises?
son's 3 dogs, so I have 7 right now. But my son's
And-
dogs are just here for the
Right.
weekend.
And they're getting along with everybody
Yes.
so far. Good. And that's what I was getting at. So,
Yeah.
all right. Wow. What a pair.
Yes.
And they're not siblings, to the best of everybody's knowledge, anyway.
No, I got them at different times, so I don't think so.
Okay.
Melly is much small. I call her Smelly Melly, but
All right.
yeah, she only gets called
I bet
Melody
she
when
loves
she's in
that.
trouble, and she knows it.
Okay.
Um,
You know, back to the suspicion of abuse with Patch. Typically, I don't worry a whole lot about physical abuse because they're fully capable of standing their ground. All right, but it's the emotional abuse. They don't have a defense against that. All right.
And they actually did come from separate shelters. So
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it.
yeah.
But it's kind of. I keep thinking about Heart Gem and them. Heart Gem got adopted, by the way. She was on the show a few weeks ago.
Oh, good.
And oh yeah, she was the one that she's the Mastiff mix, but she was the smaller of all the brothers and sisters because she was from a different litter. Anyway,
Yeah.
So
So,
Great
if somebody
Pyrenees
doesn't
Rescue.
want a real big pier, that would be Melody because she's not going to get tall.
That's
She'll
awesome.
stay probably about 60 pounds, if that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, those are a couple of good-looking dogs. I just love this. I just love that picture of Patch.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait to. Don't send any stuff to Melanie. Send it to me because if you send it to Melanie, she'll make the video and I won't get to. It's not like it's a contest though, but it is sometimes. All right. All right. We forgot to ask you before the show. Can you stay for the rest of the show and you'll get to meet some Greek mythology
Yeah.
or the reindeer, maybe? Let's see who he is when we bring him up. Well, we're going to play his video. We got to do a video for him, and I think, yeah, we did. And we'll bring him up while the video's playing. Sherry, thank you so much for bringing them on, and we'd like to have you come back on again. And you did a good job.
Thank
And you're
you.
doing good
I
work.
would love to come back.
All right. So this next boy, I'm going to let sorry, I'm going to see. That's why I'm going to let Sydney introduce him. Well, I'll let her. How do you pronounce her name?
Calliope.
Thank you. And there's the dog. I can't pronounce her name.
Calliope.
Calliope.
Hi, Alice.
Calliope. My son calls her Collide uppy.
Collide?
Calliope.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I got a lag on my end. Are you big or am I big?
You are.
Great.
Can you see us okay?
Well, I'm trying to get you.
There you
there
are.
we go. There you are. Thanks,
Yay.
Melanie.
Oh,
I know that
love
was you.
it. She has her fingers on.
And we have the reindeer.
And she's a reindeer today, yeah.
By the way, that music on her video, that's actually
Yeah.
Christmas music. It is. I took it out of Epidemic's Christmas collection.
Oh, nice.
She knew it was a Christmas tune. That's why she's a reindeer. All right. So I'm going to let you and Sydney handle this one because,
Sure.
well, I haven't earned that yet because I can't pronounce her name.
Well,
Good there.
first of all, your kids are so good with her. You clearly, have taught them how to interact with dogs, and just her tail wag when she's interacting with them is she just is delighted to be with them. So that was so cute and sweet to see.
Yeah, she's really a great dog. I mean, we have fostered since 2020, and we have fostered. I guess she's our 16th dog, and we've had 8 puppies and 8 adults. And
Wow.
so we really have had to learn. We started fostering because my oldest was afraid of dogs, and every single dog that we've gotten has just helped him like get over that fear. And I mean, there is no fear at this point, and Calliope is definitely a part of that. She's really, really great with kids. I would say like one of her, a perfect home option would be one with kids. She's really one of those that could go anywhere, quite honestly, because she's good with cats. She's good with male and female dogs of all ages. We've had my brother-in-law's dog over, so she's been introduced to males of different ages, females of different ages. A cat, an old like persnickety geriatric cat that we have that's great with her. And then we have 4 kids, age 6 and under. The youngest was born the same month as Calliope, so she's a baby. It's kind of funny seeing the 2 of them. My daughter Mary and her like have kind of bonded.
Now, Rena has a question.
Yeah.
Rena wants to know why she eats in a crate.
The reason why I have it's not necessarily specific to Calliope, but I have that as a rule in my house because my kids are all very young. Their little fingers just end up in dog bowls, in water bowls. And so I do that for the safety of my kids and for the foster because I don't want there to be an incident. We have not had any incidents with food or treats with the dogs. And because they're not my personal dogs, I try to protect them, and I don't want there to be any incident or any reason for them to not be able to be in a home with kids. And so the reason why I feed her all of her bones and treats in her crate is number one, because I wanted her to associate the crate as being kind of like a pleasure center. Like that's where she's going to get all like of those good treats and stuff.
Yeah.
I did not like her crate. But once she associated it with like, oh, I get like nice things when I'm in my crate.
Sure.
So that's one of the reasons. And the other reason is protect her from any incident with the kids, because I am a firm believer that kids will make childish decisions and dogs will have animal reactions. And I don't want that to stand in the way of a dog getting adopted.
You're my new best friend. Do you know that, Ella?
So that's why I feed her in the crate. She's never been like aggressive. I have heard like a growl here and there, but I've also heard that with my personal dogs because I don't know, that's their language. So, but
a growl is good.
I mean, she's she's not. I would not categorize her as food aggressive, but I think that if whoever is watching has a young child, I would encourage you to, at least in the very beginning, to start by feeding them in the crate, so that there is no like pecking order established right off the bat. I've even heard about dogs being aggressive over like an empty water bowl. So I would say that's just my like. I always try to like prevent any issues in the home because of the small kids. So if you have small kids, I think she's a really, really good contender because she's great with. I mean, I've seen my little 1-year-old, like literally she grabbed her fur and I was like, oh, no, Mary. I tried to stop her and Calliope just walked away like nothing had ever happened. So she's so like, she really has like a docile like temperament when it comes to that. I will say that she's still getting over like her puppy phase because like I said, she's like 15, 16 months old. So she's I really don't know the reason why anybody why they surrendered her because it was an owner surrender. I think it's probably just because they got tired of the puppy blues, and if she finds a little toy, she wants to tease it like she's like 15 months old.
So she's one of those dogs that you wonder who didn't want this dog.
I know, right? Kind of a little bit. I mean, I think the only other thing is, she does dig here and there. So if you have like a master garden, maybe not her.
The first rule of owning a Great Pyrenees: do not put them inside the same fence as your garden.
Right, exactly. So she's
She's
gone after
gorgeous.
my husband's herb garden, but other than that, she has like no issues really. She'll talk, she'll bark when somebody comes in the house, but then she'll quickly become fast friends. She's very friendly. I have a Labrador, and then I have another Great Pyrenees, a female and a male. I would say she's on par, energy wise, closer to the Labrador. Our Pyrenees are my personal Pyrenees. My husband calls half sloth, half dog. She is low energy, very, very low energy, like 20-minute brisk walk. She's done. That's not Calliope. I would call her more like medium high energy at this point. I'm sure as she gets older, she might kind of level out as just like medium.
Sure.
But she is a mix. She's not pure Great Pyrenees. If I had to guess, maybe like collie, like a border collie, maybe mix. But I mean, we.
How do you get that?
I mean, the way she runs, and she's kind of like just like her gait and her
Okay.
her coat.
Okay. Cool.
My the one that we have is she's a pure, like straight pure Pyrenees, and she's also a little bit smaller. I don't know that I would call her like the mini pure or whatever the name is.
Pocket pure.
She's pocket pure. She's large. She's not extra large. So she's
How about average?
What's that?
How about she's just average sized?
Yeah, she's like more average. She's she's an accessible, Great Pyrenees.
So you haven't had much in unwanted behaviors from her because you don't accidentally reward an unwanted behavior, right?
Yeah, we really try not to. I mean, every once in a while, we live in Texas. It's been hot. The dogs, if they're left out like a moment too long outside, they're gonna want to dig.
So you're comfortable she hasn't called the dog trainer about unwanted human behaviors then, right?
Well, yeah, I mean it's a balance, right? Making sure that we are, doing the best that we can for the dog and not, creating any bad behaviors. But I mean, my goal when I get a dog is to try to help them be adoptable. And so I try to help them, be with my husband, a male and a female, to be with kids of different ages. We've had neighbor kids. She's like a celebrity on our block. Kids will come over and pet her. She's
awesome.
really, really sweet. I mean, as you can see, she's been sitting next to me, and she's like really, really nice. She's a sweet dog. As long as she gets her walk in, she's got good house manners. So I think that she's got even though she doesn't have formal training, I think she has a really good demeanor and temperament. So I think she'd be great for an active family, or really anybody that doesn't mind getting a good walk in every day.
And how big do you think she is right now?
She could still gain a little bit of weight, but I think she's in the ballpark of like 70.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's not super big.
Yeah. All right.
She's
so
lean.
what's her perfect home look like?
I think a family with kids would be great. My daughter.
Oh, I think you said that already.
Yeah, my daughter is 15 months, and we got her at the end of September. So she was 14 months old, I guess 13 months old at that point. So so she was still really itty bitty. So she does really, really good with kids. All of our dogs are large or extra large, and the only time that we have an issue is really just when they're trotting outside. If there's a kid right there, they might accidentally bump into them.
Yeah.
Other than that, so you just got to be aware of that if you have a large dog, a large breed.
I like her and her husband already because they're not blaming the dog.
No, not at all. It goes both ways. Kids need to learn that, okay, they're coming, they're going outside, they're excited to go outside. Let's just stand back for a second, let them go outside, and once they're done running around, we can go pet them.
Yep.
So,
and for everybody out there that won't buy a dog from rescue for any reason, it doesn't matter what the reason is, always remember, all right, if you stop blaming your dog, there's no reason for a rescue.
Right. Yeah, she's I think she's
adorable.
She's a great contender for anybody who wants just a sweet dog that wouldn't mind doing some, formal training.
She would be a good candidate for Hollywood. Look at her.
But she goes to her crate right away, and to her specific crate. All the dogs go to their specific crates and wait for me to come and lock the door. Like she's a good little learner. So she's young enough to learn. She's got energy and she's super sweet. So she can go anywhere. I think whoever had her before probably just wasn't in the right headspace to have a little puppy.
Okay. And that's usually what happens. When they get rid of, I'm very blunt, get rid of their puppy, it has nothing to do with the breed.
Right.
It's just the puppy part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, she's amazing.
She's such a good dog. I mean, and this morning, she was running around in circles with the Aussie Doodle up at our house where we're dog sitting. So she can run. She is fast as lightning, but then she's like this. Like she's chill. After she gets her exercise, she's good. She's ready to nap.
Well, reindeer have a tough job.
I know. She's pooped.
She's got to rest up.
I know. She's got a big event coming up. So.
Really?
Needing that
Yeah. Maybe if you got kids, so probably a less chance, but we plan on doing a Christmas show. Maybe she should be on to be a reindeer.
Hey, if she's not adopted at that point, she can be on your roster.
Well, I forgot about that adoption thing. Yep, she'll be on. If somebody doesn't snatch these 3 dogs up that we just had on, then I feel very bad for them.
Right. But I hope that a family will see her and fall in love. I know it's a really big commitment and kind of like even a risk to do the transport. It's a big decision, and I get that. But if anybody's interested in her, have a conversation with me, and I can assure you I would not allow a dog that was not as sweet as this. Unless they were as sweet as this, to be around like my own personal children. So if you have kids and you're looking for a good dog out there, put her on your list. Like she's a contender for sure. Yeah.
Because just like Sherry, Alice will not set her dog up to fail.
No, exactly. We don't want to have a revolving door. She deserves better than that. If she's going to go through the transport, heck, it's hard for humans to drive across the country. So if she's going to go on the transport, I want her to be able to stay there.
Yep, that's right. Now you're in the Pacific Northwest, right?
We're in Spring, Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas.
Yep.
We got a bunch of Texas dogs.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, we got to stop taking these weeks off, Sydney. Look what we did. We listed a lot of dogs that, some of them are actually scheduled to come on next week, and we forgot. All right. So, like I said, nobody's perfect. Just so you know, Alice, that lady that's commenting, Lori, she fosters Newfoundlands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that amazing that actually a Newfoundland actually needs a rescue?
I know, yeah.
Aren't they usually the rescue?
Right. Yeah.
But she's been on before.
It's a gentle breed.
Oh yeah. Lori, do you have a foster dog yet? You coming on maybe? But shit takes a second. All internet stuff like this has a delay.
Oh no.
Wow, man. So thanks for bringing. How many total dogs are there counting your foster?
Right now we have 4 because we're watching another dog, but usually it's just 3. Yeah.
Okay. And you foster one at a time?
Unless we're doing puppies, then we have a couple or 3. Yeah.
I understand. And that makes sense about the puppies because you're in Spring, Texas. I forgot. I do remember reading that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow, you'd be perfect to go to, other than you have kids and it's Christmas, but you'd be perfect to go help with the Christmas show over there.
Oh, yeah. Where is it at?
Well, we're going to be doing a Christmas show from the GPRS headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
And you could be part of getting every dog up to, they struck a deal with Santa Claus.
That's right.
He's going to be there.
Antlers, no problem.
Yeah. And anybody out there, if you want to donate a little gift for the dogs for the Christmas show, so they actually can go to Santa to receive something, okay? That would be the GPRS has a wish list.
There you go.
All right.
She's doing good with this. I would never put it on her if it was bothering her, but it was this or a bandana, and I put it on her, and I was like, oh, you don't really mind this, so we're gonna keep it.
Whoa. Who'd you lose, Lori? I know all of her dogs. Wow. All right. And you don't have to comment that up here if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Call me after the show, Lori.
Well, Calliope is clearly a good sport.
Oh yeah, yeah, patient.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess.
no, she's great.
She said, what'd you do? Ask her if she wants to go on TV. And she said, yeah, it's just
She's
another
like,
Tuesday.
I guess if I must.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you for bringing her on,
Yeah,
Alice, and for taking
absolutely.
such good care of this breed.
Yes, of course, my pleasure.
All right. So,
Thank you.
can you stay for the rest of the show? We still got one more
Yeah.
dog coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Great, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah. All right. So, Sydney, you have our last dog that's coming on.
I sure do.
Melanie, can you move her over? My mouse isn't being responsive. Madam Producer.
So while you didn't see her, she just now, this is her on the love seat over here. She just hopped up there after doing her dog job and growling at someone walking past the house. Yeah, I've had her a little over 3 months now, so she definitely has settled in. She is a pocket peer, so she's about 65 pounds. Mix. She might be. She doesn't have double dew claws in the back, so and her fur is really silky. It's not super long. It's kind of a medium length. It's a pretty easy to take care of. I just brush her a couple times a week, but when she first came, she was sad and really low energy. And now that she has relaxed and she gets really playful sometimes, and she entertains herself. And anytime I get up from the couch, she now assumes something good is going to happen. Like she'll get a treat or something. So she pops right up and does a little dance, and we'll do a little twirl. And sometimes when she gets really excited, she'll chase her own tail and then bite it. And so run in a circle, which is so funny to watch her. But she just will bounce up and down because she just is so excited and really thinks that something good is going to happen. It's going down. So
There's a reason she thinks that.
yeah, well, because it happens a lot. She has
Yes.
learned that good things happen. But she was a dog that she's from Texas, and she's now in the Pacific Northwest. But she's in Oregon right now. The people who surrendered her to the shelter, she was outside 16 hours a day, and she wasn't really let in the house. So when she came in the house at nighttime, she would go straight into a crate. So she has learned that being on the couch is a great place to take a nap. And her latest thing that she started doing the last few weeks is she actually will take a nap on my bed, on my side of the bed, and lay her head on my pillow.
Huh. Wow.
So
My Akbash started doing that until I woke up one morning and instead of a pillow, I had stuffing.
yeah. Yeah, she has not chewed on anything. She has one Nyla bone chew toy that she'll chew on that. She'll play a little bit with the rope toy, but not really. And she definitely has found her bark and has stepped into her guardian dog duties. But if she's outside barking and I call her, she'll come in. She might bark a few more times just to make sure she's had the last word. But and she'll growl if she hears somebody walk by the front door and those kinds of things. So she definitely is a brave little pocket peer. And I tell her that. I'm like, you're very brave. Yes, good job. When she is barking. Because that's, she in the beginning, she was really quiet. She just was kind of hunkered down and took a while to get to the place that she is now, where she just is always hopeful that something good is going to happen. And so when we go for a walk, if I don't put my shoes on fast enough, she will boot me with her nose. And in the morning, that's what she does. She kind of boops me to let me know she needs to go potty. And then when it's time for breakfast, the same thing. So it's really funny. I haven't had a foster really do that before. And she's learned a couple of behaviors from my dog Artemis. Artemis would come in and slap her foot on the bed in the morning when she wants me to get up. So now Trisha will do that as well as booping me with her nose.
Wow. So, like I said, I got a lag in my computer. Who's big right now?
Sydney's big.
I need you to bring Alice back up, make her big. Everybody needs to see what I'm seeing. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So, so what happens? Does GPRS call you up and say, "Well, we got a kid, test another dog"?
No, not at all. They just know that I have kids, and when they
Okay.
pick a dog that they think would be a good fit, then we very slowly do that introduction.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted everybody to see that. Back to Trisha now. Sorry for the interruption, Sydney.
Hey, you gotta grab those moments when they happen.
Yeah, that's why we. Melanie, put her back where she belongs, please. Thank you. I had to swap computers for this show, so and it's arguing.
Well, and Trisha gets along with all dogs, so she is not pushy. She accepts correction, but honestly, my dogs have not corrected her for a long time now because she's just learned the rules of the house. And
that's important what you just said.
Yeah.
Because you don't correct her, your dogs do, right?
No.
Okay.
Every once in a while, she'll try to play with them, and Artemis is old; she's 12, so she gets knocked down sometimes. So she will growl at Trisha to just like, "Hey, I'm not going to play." But
and Trisha stops.
Yeah, she does. She just walks away. She's not confrontational at all. And Trisha doesn't care about gender with dogs either. So she, doesn't mind male or female. It doesn't matter to her. She gets along with all of them. And Samson, my Pyrenees, is literally twice her size. And she really likes him. She will pal around with him and, every once in a while try to play, which he just stands there. But and she gets it. Like she'll try to play with him for a minute and he's not into it. So then she just, trots away and does her own thing. So so I think the ultimate home would have a dog that would like to actually play with her because she deserves that. And she's perfectly happy here, but I'm just a temporary home and my dogs don't play and she would love a canine playmate. And so that I think would be a great place. She has made significant leaps and bounds in getting used to new people. So the first couple months, I didn't really have anybody over. And then I had a friend come and stay for a week. And Trisha barked for probably the first 30 minutes. And then she realized that my friend was fine and would hop up on the couch and snuggle with her. By after a couple days, and my friend is not pushy. She has her own dog that's very reactive, so she's very understanding of dogs that need some time. So she was never pushy with Trisha. And then the next time somebody else came over, Trisha didn't bark at all. She was a little hesitant. And then the next time I had somebody else come over that was brand new to her, she just trotted right up and asked for pet. So I did have two. I had a Friendsgiving, and two of the guests were male, and she did not. In that couple hours that they were here, she didn't let them pet her. But I think with time she would. She just did not have any warm up time. It wasn't enough time for her. So she clearly, like Sherry mentioned, with Patch. She is far more comfortable with women, but I think that Trisha would be fine just given time. So it's not a no-go. She just needs somebody who would, the males would be patient with her.
Right. And that's the key to this. There's two things you need when you bring a new dog in. It doesn't matter if it comes from a rescue, a breeder. I don't care where it comes from. You still got to do the same thing. For the dog, you have to be patient. For the dog just needs some time. For the human side, you got to be patient.
Yeah.
It's got to be the dog's timeline, not yours. So, and Sydney knows exactly what to do with the new dog. It looks like Sherry and Alice both know what to do with the new dog. Alice actually kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting that, all right, that level of knowledge, but makes sense because, well, GPR has the best of the best when it comes to fostering. Their fosters are the best. So, and so are their screeners, Sydney. So, wow, interesting. What a show. I got one last statement, question combination. Now, when you first got her, Sydney, she was pretty stuck to herself, obviously, because it's all about her right now because she's in survival. Now, when she started settling in, coming out of her and coming into her own, so to speak, then it became a steady thing, right? A rapid.
Yeah.
Every morning you woke up to something new. That was just a new side of her. But it's just you're getting to know her real side. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah. I mean, in the first month that I had her, I did not think that she was playful at all because I had never seen that side of her. But after probably 2 months, maybe 6 weeks, but 2 months, then she really started to become playful. I think that's kind of the most dramatic. That and having guests come over, just seeing how from guest number 1 to guest number 5, the difference, that was a really fast change in her. But
the dancing, when did that come about?
The dancing started about 6 weeks in. I mean, she really started to dance when it was walk time, and then and feeding time. And then it's blossomed into basically every time I get off the couch, she thinks she's going to get a treat or something. And so then she like hops up and does a little dance because she's like, yay, like every moment something good is happening. So,
yeah. See, Trisha already has, I believe, 2 videos or 3. She actually needs another video already because that's old news back there.
Yeah.
There's so much new that she does every day, and it just gets better and better every day, Sydney said.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I sent you, Steve, a picture of her sleeping on the bed on my side with her head on the pillow.
I'll have to look. I don't remember it, but it doesn't mean it's not here. It means I've been busy. And I always remember this whole week, actually this last couple of weeks, with all of the rescues I work with, they've been buried. Only you can help that. All right. Just stop blaming your dog. Maybe you don't have to surrender your dog. Now, I'm not talking to anybody in specific. I'm just talking to the people that give up too soon. Yeah. That's all. And always remember, if you've had the dog since he was 8 weeks old, every behavior you've got, isn't that kind of on you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because most unwanted behaviors is learned. That means it was taught to them somehow, usually by us accidentally rewarding behavior that we don't want them to do.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I know nobody's doing that on purpose, but we accidentally do that because we don't understand what goes on in their heads up here.
Sure.
Okay. But we're learning so much more now. These are exciting times. All right. A lot of science, the Great Pyrenees are more and more companions of the guardian breeds in general. That caught the attention of the right people. So they're going to do everything they can to help everything work out for you. So that's exciting. I love it. Thank you for bringing her on. Do you have anything on closing, Sydney?
No, just to say thank you to our guests. Thank you, Sherry with Patch and Melody. Thank you so much, Alice with Calliope. It's just so fun to see them in person and hear straight from the fosters about the dogs. It's just invaluable to have you on as guests for the show. So thank you.
Yeah, and I hope you guys, both of you, can come back, especially if you get new dogs.
Yeah.
But we also like to see the progress of the dog that we've had on in the past.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's so many of these dogs that can get on New Hope's Wall of Fame. Okay. New Hope Behavior Consultants has a Wall of Fame on their website. And there's a few dogs up there that would surprise you. So, but anyway. All right. Sherry, thank you for bringing Patch and Melody. I can pronounce their names.
I tried in between to get Patch to come down here. I almost moved my computer just to him.
Right. And you see, that's what the rescue people do. They'll do anything for the dogs.
Yeah.
And humans, not so much probably, but but anyway, wow, what a show. Next week, apparently we have a good show. We're going to have Jelly on. Who else did we think was coming on this week, but was scheduled for next week?
I think just that. I think just Jelly, but we have Link. We have Link coming.
That's
back.
right. Link was
Oh,
scheduled. Yeah, that's right. I like that little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to meet him when I was at GPRS headquarters back in November. So
Yeah.
I think it was Link I met anyway.
Yeah, probably. Cute little fox. He looks like a little fox. Yeah.
Cool. I love this new headset. My dogs can't hear that.
That's Patch barking.
Oh, really? He's got
Yeah.
a deep one.
Yeah.
That's great. All right.
Well,
everybody.
and we also have to say thank you to our cameo guest, Melanie's cat.
Yes. Yes. And it looks like that cat can handle himself too.
Oh, he does great. He and my resident peer are best friends.
Wow. Wow. Ain't that something? All right, everybody. Don't forget, coming up on the 24th is hopefully the special Christmas show from GPRS's headquarters. Santa will be there. All right. They struck a deal. All those volunteers that we saw on our very first peer parade, they were wheeling and dealing. I don't know what they had to give up to get Santa there in person, but they did it. He spared no expense. All right. So the only one we're going to miss so far is Melanie. She had other plans. So we're not going to have a producer.
Very sad.
Yeah, that's all right. We can handle it. So next week, and we're going to ask, we're going to actually, or obviously, we're going to invite the Utah Rescue back on because they enjoy coming on. They want to show off their dogs too. And you guys, and I don't care if anybody's offended, they deserve to be shown off. Okay. Because number one, they're Great Pyrenees. There's no other breed like them. Number two, these fosters work hard. Okay. And anything that you see special for a foster, that's just another day of the week. Okay. And nothing surprises them anymore, what they see. Unless they get another state that says, really, you did that? Texas? Utah says, here, hold my beer. We can top that. This isn't a contest. Okay. It's not a contest to see who can abuse the dogs the best without getting whatever. Anyway, I'll stop now. All right. All right, everybody. Till next week, I got to queue up this whole. I'm really lagging for some reason. And they just did an update on me.
Again, thank you, everyone, for coming on.
Bye. Thank you for having us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.